Ever wonder about life's mysteries and how what we may not be aware of could be affecting the outcomes of we here on Earth? With permission from Dr. Paul Leon Masters, founder of the University of Sedona, I'd like to share with you one of his mystical insights. Dr. Masters' mystical insights are based on over 50 years of consciousness research with thousands of his students. Today's subject's based on his conclusions after half a century of research. The subject is on healing, a mystical perspective. There are many who present themselves as healers, as well as many methods of treatment, from the most primitive to even what is described as the science of today. Everything has its place and time in the universe. The universe in mystical reality being the thought process of universal consciousness or God. And if everything indeed does have its place and time in human experience, inclusive of healing, then in human expression or practice of healing, there is no one-size-fits-all manner of treatment, or one kind of healer above all others. From a mystical perspective, healing and healers are viewed from what in fact is really taking place. Consider, by the way of example, Jesus, who had, seemingly, at least in appearance's sake, performed miracles of healing. When credit was directed towards him, he responded through the Christ mind that was in him with the words, "Why callest me good? It is not I, but the Father which doeth these good works." He spoke the great mystical truth about healing, healers, and healing methods. Only the universal consciousness or God actually does the healing. The claim that any one healer or healing method does the actual healing as a ploy of the personal ego is trying to substantiate or give credence to the thought that it even exists. Contrasts, contradictions of wellness or sickness, healing methods, and healers are all a part of the foundational fabric that creates the illusion that there are many lives, a great variety, rather than the one singular life of God. Yes, healing can be a part of Maya, or illusion, that anything can take place independently of the whole, or God. Yet if a person who has been ill experiences a healing, it is not because of any specific healing method or healer. It is simplest of all terms familiar to, by the grace of God. To mystically understand healing, healers, and methodologies, we must come from the mystical awareness that life is a universal process, and all that is taking place is part of the functioning of universal process. To maintain the universe's physical dimension, other dimensions, all must coordinate to serve the whole, universal will or God's will. Health, lack of it, healing, healers, and methods are part of the ongoing universal process which is life, and they sustain life as it appears to the physical senses. Mystically awakened healers, and there are but a few, realize that they are a part of the illusion of life through the physical senses. They have their roles to play in the universal process. The methods or treatments they use are to fulfill a time gap between the appearance of sickness and wellness. They realize that if a healing takes place from a physical sense perspective, it is because it is the appropriate time and place in the universal process. The healing is something that has already taken place in the one eternal moment that is God's presence. As Albert Schweitzer once said, "It is the role of the physician to amuse the patient long enough to give nature, or God, the time to actually do the healing. What then of those not healed? In actuality, the healing already is at a higher level of universal consciousness or God mind. It is a matter of the illusions catching up to reality, or the personal egos awakening more fully to God's presence. Perhaps that illness or lack of wellness even causes a human being to have the time to evaluate his or her life and self-adjust to the soul's purpose as part of the ongoing universal process that is life or God. In the light, to serve the light that is God. Be well. Dr. Masters. We will be presenting more of Dr. Masters' mystical insights on KUOSFM.com every week. For more free complimentary lectures and insights, click on to the University of Sedona's website at universityofsedona.com.